All right, Groovesters, Ridgely Goldsborough here, the Groove Growth Guy, and I am so excited to be hanging out with the one and only ultra fabulous Angie Norris. Angie, how are you?
Hey guys, I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be here on Groove Growth. Thanks, Ridgely.
No, it's a pleasure. Are you kidding? We are so honored to have you. And I remember back to when we were having the conversation about this possibility that you would share your knowledge and wisdom and what you do to be so successful with the Groove community. And you went away, and then we had another call where you said, well, you know what I did, Ridgely, was I asked myself, what would I need to be super successful? And then I worked backward into, this is what I really want. This is what I really need. So let me share that with the team. So basically, what you're sharing with us today is absolutely the Angie Norris Uber success formula that you are working with yourself. Am I right about that?
Absolutely. A lot of people ask me how I get so much accomplished, and I'm just one person. And it's because I'm very organized in my goal setting and my plan for the year and my projects. So, yep, this is the Angie Norris method. This is what I do. And I'm excited to share that with everyone here.
Well, I'm equally excited that it doesn't matter when you view this or when you begin. This is something you can start at any time to implement and to use to have the same level or some level of success, maybe not quite as successful as Angie, but working toward that direction. As Angie, there's so much to do, so much to share. So let's just dive in. The floor is yours. I look forward to contributing just a little here and there.
Awesome, guys. I'm super excited to be here on Groove Growth. Yay. And I just want you guys to know that, as you guys know, I love Groove, but more importantly, I love this community. So I'm excited to be here to share with what I do, but what anyone in the Groove community can do to really tackle their goals and their dreams, really dream big, and then have accountability too, because that's so important. So I'm going to get right into it. So no matter when you are watching this, whether it is in January, February, March, April, or next year, just start where you are. That's going to be one of my big things is, hey, it doesn't matter. We have the opportunity to take action the moment we decide, right? And so it doesn't matter starting January 1 or beyond, just start where you are. So no matter what day of the year it is, start. That's all I'm going to say. But I want to talk about being a groove getter because that's what I am. I believe that me, along with many hundreds of you guys and thousands of you guys now in Groove, are groove getters because you guys are really going after it. You love Groove. You believe in Groove. You believe in what's to come, and you want to really excel with Groove. And I think that's where I have been for the last couple of years. And I know many of you share that same feeling. And I'm just super excited about it because I want to show you, for those who aren't yet a groove getter, how you can be. And this is a lot right here. This is my longest slide, but I just want you guys to know that there's just 10 things that I feel that you can be and how to be a groove getter. So I'm going to go through these, but then we're going to cut right into the steps, 5 big steps on how you get started as a groove getter. So number 1, you're not just a dreamer, you're a goal getter, right? You're a goal getter. Number 2, you consistently evaluate where you are and where you want to be. I mean, that's what I'm constantly doing, right? And I want you guys to think about where you want to be. Also, number 3, you take responsibility for your own actions and you continuously strive for self-improvement. I mean, that's a big one right there. Number 4, you set clear and specific goals that include a strategic action plan. Because if you don't have a plan, really, you're not set up for success, right? Number 5, you believe in yourself, and I believe in you, and you have faith in your abilities. You got to believe in yourself so others will too. Number 6, you are a high achiever and you hold yourself to high standards. I love that one because I'm going to hold you guys all to high standards too, because you guys all have so much within you to share with the world. Number 7, you value accountability so much so that you surround yourself with ambitious, like-minded people. Look at this. I get to hang out with Ridgely, guys, and you guys get to hang out with us every week. So it's really cool. Number 8, you are proactive to life versus reactive, and you may even be a risk taker at times. I know I am, and I hope that you guys are risk takers with me. And number 9, you embrace that failing forward is just part of the journey. And I failed a lot. And I just want you guys to know that's okay. It's part of the learning process. And finally, number 10, you are passionate, resourceful, perceptive, dependable, driven, open-minded. And let's just face it, you're just freaking awesome. So as I go to the next slide, I'm going to turn over to Ridgely and ask him his opinion on these, how to be a groove getter 10 pillars here.
I just think I'm just going to focus on 2. And that is the idea of really taking the time to be, where do I want to be? Where do I want to be? And what am I doing to change myself so that I can get there? Because the journey starts within. We make the shift within, and then it manifests without. And the other one that I really love is failing your way forward. It is just so important. So many people are stuck in analysis paralysis. Oh, let me work it out. Let me keep working on this product. It's just got to be perfect. No. You got to put something out there, put yourself out there, take a risk. It was in there too, and go for it and fail your way forward, because you never fail if you absorb the lesson. So I love what you just said. And I'm so excited to embody being a groove getter.
I love it. And as you guys will witness over this next year, Ridgely is going to show you just how you guys can all be a groove getter. But if you guys want to get started today, I'm going to give you 5 steps. All right, you guys ready? Let's go. So the first step in going after your dreams and goals is really to ask yourself, are you dreaming big about what you want to achieve, but also about the person you want to be? I mean, how many lives do you really want to change? So I'm going to share with you step number 1, which is creating a groove getter's dream board. Because if you're dreaming big, you're going to do what it takes to go after the dreams. And how you can do this is by putting together a list under each category that means something to you of what you want to accomplish. What dreams do you want to go after? What aspirations do you want to achieve? Whether it's for you, your family, whether it's tangible or something that's more of a legacy, it doesn't matter what it is. But when you're dreaming big, man, I know you're going to be doing what it takes to just tackle those goals and actions, and you're going to get yourself there because you are just so excited to be dreaming. So I'm going to pass over to Ridgely. Ridgely, what do you think about dreaming big? Are you a big dreamer?
100%. And I think that the bigger you dream, the more the dreams evolve. In other words, there's a certain thing, like I maintain very high balances in my bank accounts. I don't need to. In fact, many people have said it's kind of ridiculous. But you know what? When I look at my statements every Monday morning and I'm seeing 6 figures in the bank, I'm like, dang, bro, I think you need to dream bigger. What if it was 7 figures? So the bigger you dream, the bigger the dreams can become. It's like you're creating a dream muscle, space for your dream to manifest. So I think it's amazing and necessary.
I think that is awesome, because I'm going to put that on my list of what you had under my finances here, because that sounds like amazing to wake up every day and have that feeling of comfort and that you've worked hard to get there, and just so many more things bleed from that. So I love that, Ridgely. I want you guys to also understand that dreaming big is what you put out there that you're able to look forward to. And I know we were able to take some trips this year for the first time ever. And I'm telling you, the sense of just accomplishment for my family was amazing. So I want you guys to have a dream board. So create one. Step number 2 is going after your dreams and goals is to ask yourself, where do you want to be? Whether it's right now in your life, in 1 year of your life, or maybe 5 to 10 years of your life, where are you headed, right? Like, where do you want to be in your life? This is so important to think about, because a lot of times we're in the moment, we're working right now, but what about in 10 years from now? What about in 20 years from now? It's good to have a roadmap of where we're going. And yes, dreaming big is a part of that. But if you don't have a vision for the future, if you can't see clearly that the map ahead is going to take you there, how are you going to get there? So step number 2 is create a Groove Getter's vision board. And what this is a mission, vision, value statement. And if you don't know what that is, that's okay. Because I come from a corporate background, 25 years, and I'm sure Ridgely knows what this is too. But having a mission statement, having a vision statement, and having the core values of what you want to embody over the next year or more is going to help ground you to the foundational things that you want to make sure that everything you do, every action you take is leading towards your overall mission, vision, and values. What do you think about that, Ridgely?
So in another way of looking at it is to think of yourself them as follows. My values are what I stand for, what I put my stake in the ground, the Geiger by which I measure myself. My vision is how I make the world a better place. How does my service or product improve the world in some way? And my mission is my purpose. So if you think of, this is what I stand for, this is how I make the world a better place, and this is my purpose, it gives you a complete feeling of who you want to be and where you're going to go based on becoming that person.
I love that. I love that. So, I mean, guys, were you tracking there? I mean, it's like so perfect because it does also have to do with impacting others. And I think that is huge for me. And I'm sure it's huge for many of you is you have a talent, you have a skill, you have a knowledge and know-how, an idea and experience, something to share with the world. And when you put that into purpose-driven missions like this, visions of where you're headed for your family and yourself and professionally and personally, as well as all the values you want to embody, you're going to get there and you're going to impact so many more lives because of it. So I love what Ridgely said, and it's so true. And then number 3 is we want to go after your dreams and goals by asking yourself, what is standing in your way? Because there is something standing in our way. Every single person has something, right? And is it you standing in your own way? I know that one kind of resonates with me. Are you holding yourself back? Are you limited in your own beliefs? Because if we have self-limiting beliefs, it's going to keep us, right? So what I'm going to challenge you guys is to have a GrooveGetter's mindset. And I have a couple slides here on this, but the first one is embrace that leader within, because your GrooveGetter's mindset is going to point to, wow, every single person in the Groovester community is a leader. And how can you guys get out there, right? And leaders drive values, and values drive behavior, and behavior drive culture, and culture drives commitment, because if you're not committed, you're not going to see it to completion, right? And then when you're committed, you're going to be engaged. So that drives engagement, and then engagement drives performance, which is what we're all trying to strive for. And then that will drive long-term success. So embrace that leader within, because we all have a leader that's screaming to get out. And the more that it comes out, you'll lead by example. You're going to touch more lives, and you're going to do more for not only yourself, but for all your mission, your vision, and your values. And then second thing is face mindset barriers head on. And I know this is so hard, because I don't know about you, but I faced these 50 plus mindset barriers when I first came onto the scene and through my entrepreneurial career the last few years, a lot. It was like ups and downs, but I was still having my eye on that summit. And how many of you guys can relate to that? Raise your hand. How many of you guys can relate to a mindset barrier, whether it's analysis paralysis or fear, I should say, I would say failing fear and failure. That is, how many of us have failed, but yet we got up, we just said, you know what, we have to overcome that and go after our dreams. I'm telling you, it is all part of a universal entrepreneur problem, and you are not alone. You're not alone. So Ridgely, what have you faced, and what are things that you could probably speak to about mindset barriers?
The biggest thing for me is exactly what we're doing right here, which is knowing that there are people out there. I love that you are not alone, because you're not. No one is alone. All of the Groove community is here to help you. Every expert that comes into Groove Growth, Angie, myself, and others, we had mentors. We found mentors. We searched out mentors, help people who have been where we're trying to go, who could teach us how to get there more effectively, more quickly, and remind us that we're not alone. Because sometimes I think that my mentors, many times, they weren't even trying to teach me anything. They were just there to say, keep going. Keep going, keep going. And I'm reminded of a saying by Aristotle, a leader from thousands of years ago that still applies today. He said, you are what you repeatedly do. Excellence is not an act, but a habit. And so you get reminded by mentors, people like us and others, and the other people in the community, keep going, keep trying, move forward, persevere, commitment, embody the leadership, your behavior. And sometimes it's the reminder that is the power behind that friend, mentor, colleague, trusted advisor that gets you to the next level.
I love that. And guys, if you want to be challenged, if you want to just see what it's all about, all you have to do is go to one of the Groove Facebook groups and drop a question about something you're dealing with or something you're facing. And I'm telling you, you will probably get 10, 15, 20 plus different responses. And that's going to show you that we are not alone in this journey. We have this Groove community who loves you, and we're all here to help. And I love that. I think that's what's kept me really just pushing and pushing and pushing, is that I know that I have friends at work and we can do life in a Groove way together. And I think that's what the coolest thing is. So yes, you are not alone. Face barriers head on. And I promise you, we will get through this together. So another thing that I want to just touch on, because it's important to me, and I know that if you're like me and you're a Groove getter, it's going to be important to you too, is just don't ever play the victim. This is a tough one, but victim behaviors, things that happen to you, you're the type of person who wait and you just hope that something's going to fall in your lap. You're going to hit YouTube stardom one day. You have that I can't mentality. You have lots of personal excuses that are probably beyond what they should be. And you also blame others. Let's just throw that out the window, because no one needs to even deal with that, right? Because we know that that's not you. You're a Groove getter. You're going to have that accountable behaviors, the things that happen because of you. You make it happen, right? You find solutions, you embrace it, because you know what? Life happens. We all have life that gets dumped in our lap, things that are unforeseen, circumstances that we didn't ask for. But what do? We embrace it and move on, move past. We think positively through every situation. And finally, we acknowledge reality. We live in a real world, right? We might be virtual, but we have things that happen to us, and we've got to acknowledge that we are real and we take responsibility. So accountable versus victim. Are you tracking with me? Ridgely, what do you think about being accountable versus having the victim mentality?
You know, I heard this saying somewhere, and I'm not sure exactly where it was, but I've been using it ever since. I said, listen, you want to make excuses? Call your mom. She might listen. The rest of us don't care. We really don't. Because another saying I heard was, and I hear all these things, Angie, and I just pass them on. It's not like I'm all that smart. I don't come up with this stuff myself. I just listen a lot and pay attention. It says this: reasons, you can have reasons or you can have results. Reasons don't matter and results don't lie. So stop the complaining, the moaning, the groaning, get your sorry tuckus into gear and do something. And then you can fail your way forward. You can get the mentors you need. You can embrace that. Excellence is a habit, and there's no question as to where you're going to be. My commitment to everybody listening right now, if you do what we're talking about, you will absolutely astound yourself. And that's what I want for you.
I love it. And I also, to carry on what he was saying, is you will also have that magnetic personality that people are drawn to. And that's very important in this authority building, influence building online thing, right? You want to make sure that you are the attractive person that people want to be around, and people will just flock to be in your presence because they want that motivating, inspiring, and go-getting personality. And so it's just all around us. So, and I love that for you. And I'm excited for all of us to see that in the Groove community and throughout all the people that are featured on Groove Growth. So the fourth step on becoming a Groove getter and going after your dreams and goals is to ask yourself, do you have a plan? Is your plan defined in writing? Are you being consistent? Are you being proactive about life, or are you waiting and reacting when life happens? So I'm going to challenge you to create a Groove Getters framework. And I have a couple slides on this. I'm going to show you what you can do right now. And that is to plan your goals and tasks. Now, we had the lovely Donna Fox pour into you a couple of weeks ago. And we had the 80-20 rule poured into you last week. And I'm telling you that all plays into planning your goals and tasks, because it's so important to make sure that we know what we're going to achieve each day and we're going to go after it, right? So there is these 4 buckets that you can list out. Is what you're focused on important and urgent, and you're managing those tasks on a concentrated basis, and you're going to do it now? Are you avoiding those urgent but not important things that you can delegate and automate, and they're kind of distracting, right? They're interruptions for you. Put that on that list. And then you have your focus, which is the long-term strategic goals, important, but they're not urgent. And you want to concentrate on it, but you want to schedule it and make sure that you list those out on your calendar. And then finally, we have the time wasting activities that we all do, I'm sure. Not important, not urgent. We just need to eliminate those and be a groove getter and go, you know what? I love doing this stuff. It's like a time waster and it's so fun, but they really aren't getting that ball down the field. So I need to eliminate those and be honest with yourself, right? Because once you list those out and you kind of go, yeah, I admit I probably shouldn't be doing that, even though I love it, right? Put that into your hobby time wise, right? And then next thing I want to talk about is planning your year. You want to plan your year out, because if you are looking at 10 years from now, 5 years from now, if you plan even just 1 year out of your goal or goals, man, it's like making a roadmap, right? You have a roadmap to where you want to be. And so before I go to the next slide, I'm going to turn over to Ridgely and see what he does for planning, but you want to have your 12-month goals. And this is what I do. And I feel like this is a great way to tackle things, is these 90-day goals underneath to support that 12-month goal. And then you have 30-day projects that support those 90-day goals. And then you have your daily actions that you want to make sure that is continually getting that ball down the field. You guys, football fans out there, then you'll understand what I'm talking about. But that is what I want to do in my own business. I know that many of you want that too. And it's a really easy way to do it. I'm going to show you how in the next slide. So Ridgely, I know you have a neat name for 90-day goals. So I'm going to pass it right over to you and see what you call that.
I really just want to, I know all of us have heard this, and it's worth repeating. And that is, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. You have to have a plan and execute on that plan. So my system is pretty straightforward. At the beginning of the year, first of all, applying the 80-20 rule, like as you talked about, I only allow myself 3 main strategic goals per category. And I keep it simple. I know yours is a little bit more comprehensive. I like yours better, but this is what I've been doing for years and years. Personal, physical, material, and spiritual, only 3 goals. Then after I have my goals for the whole year, I then break it down to each quarter, and I call those burst goals, because you can burst for a quarter and really get some big results. The quarter is like a really ideal time because it's more than a couple of weeks. It's not 6 months to a year. It's a tangible amount of time during which you can accomplish something meaningful. So for example, let's say I really want to understand and implement Groove funnels. I really want to understand and manage the members area. I really want to do something like that. A week is unreasonable, but a quarter is very reasonable. And if you think of if you think about if somebody said, okay, the first quarter, I'm going to master this. Second quarter, I'm going to master this. Third quarter, I'm going to do this. Fourth quarter. By the end of a year, you have 4 monster tools at your disposal for anything. That's why I love the idea of bursting. And then from there, I break it down into what do we have to do this month? What do we have to do this week? But overall, my big strategy is yearly goals, but only 3 per category, and then burst goals per quarter. And just to give it a quick example, I've done a lot of intermittent fasting lately, and I've lost a lot of weight. I'm back down to college day weight at this point, but I'm still 4 pounds away from where I want to be. Now, I could say, hey, let's do that for the year, but that seems a bit lame. 4 pounds in a year, man. I know the last few pounds are the hardest, but a burst goal of 4 pounds seems entirely reasonable. Like I can get after that thing for 3 months, and I can break it down to, okay, every week I'm going to fast 1 full day. I'm going to do this, whatever. So I have my weekly targets, my milestones, etc. But I have my goal, my burst goals. And you know what my favorite thing is, Angie? My favorite thing in life? when I have those burst goals and they're like 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And I get to go, check, check, check. You feel like, man, I am a bad mofo. That's what I am, a bad mofo as a groove getter.
I love that. The bursts, those are exciting. That sounds just passionate and cool and momentous. And so I think we should adopt the word burst, and Ridgely inspired that for us. But the second thing I want you guys to do is create a framework for yourself, a plan, because like he said, if you don't plan, right, you're planning to fail. And so what I do is I have 12-month goals, and I love that he only does 3 big 12-month goals that are in each category. And for me, I am the same. It's like the power of 3s is a huge thing for me. And so I have these 3 12-month goals. I have 3 of these sheets and I fill them out. What is that goal going to be for this year? And then I have 90-day goals underneath that support, and then vice versa. You can't see the sheets behind the 30-day and the 7-day, but just know that they're there and you fill those out for what you're going to do. And like he said, checking those off is amazing, because you get to go, wow, I feel accomplished. And even if things get shifted a little bit, that's okay, because life happens. But man, it is cool to see your plan, not only on paper, but then realized after you're starting to take action. So I am excited. Now I want to talk about one thing, because we're talking about Groove here, right? Groove is amazing, but I have helped so many people learn Groove. But the problem is, and I had this in the beginning sometimes too, was we try to tackle everything all at once, and it's overwhelming. I mean, it is amazing. It's a miraculous thing that what Groove is doing to create this software platform that has almost 20 apps underneath one roof. And they are creating things so rapidly and so fast that I am just so excited. I use the software. I love it so much. But in the beginning, I learned one app at a time. And I'm going to challenge you guys to do that too, because a lot of you guys are going, okay, I got to learn Groove Video and Groove Sell and Groove Affiliate and Groove Bot. And you're like, oh my gosh, there's so much training out there. But how cool is it? Just like Ridgely was talking about, learning one thing every 90 days versus all at one time. That's kind of the concept here. It may take one person a month, might take another person a week, or maybe 90 days, but just tackle one at a time. Get confident, feel good about it. If you're able to tell others your experience about a software app, then you know you're learning it and you're getting better and better and better. Practice makes perfect. And then go to the next one and the next one. And if you go to groovechallenges.com, you'll be able to see 2 David Lemon inspired challenges that are perfect. One is called the Imperfect Action Challenge, and it's a free to anyone. You just go out there and you can learn how to build Groove pages pretty quickly. And then he also has the Affiliate Action Challenge, which I'm excited about because I love being a Groove affiliate. I know many of you guys are wanting to get started with that. Those 2 challenges are out there. So Groove challenges, learn one at a time. Don't try to eat the elephant all in one sitting. So Ridgely, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I love the eating the elephant one bite at a time. I think so many of us forget that, if you just keep taking a step forward, it is the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. You got to get going. So I'm going to tell you I'm going to go to the flip side. What happens if you don't do that? So I get this pain in my arm, right, in my elbow, and I'm doing nothing about it. And it's getting worse, and I'm doing nothing about it. And it's getting worse, and I'm doing nothing about it. Well, I developed tennis elbow from typing, from doing so much work on the computer, but I did nothing about it. So what ended up happening? Had to go to the big therapy place, get the tape on there. Now I'm going there 2-3 times a week for an hour. The guy's killing me, whatever, because I didn't stick to the plan and do what I needed to do when I needed to be doing it. So shame on me. Don't be me. Be the person who gets that plan, puts the plan in place and executes on the plan, so you don't have to go through something as ridiculous as this. This is like a snake on my arm or something. It's kind of bogus, really.
That looks cool, but yeah.
Thank you.
All right. So be a groove getter and yeah, stick to the plan and don't map out too many all at once. Learn one app at a time. And then finally, you want to focus on habits because it's all about habits that are going to get you on the right path. And we all have good habits and we have some bad habits, but I like to do a tracker for what I'm doing. I actually set a time frame of how much time I spend a day on Groove. I spend about an hour a day, every single day in Groove, because guess what? I want to be a power user Groove. I want to be that Groove ambassador. I want to be able to share the opportunity in a way that I know what I'm doing. And it makes it so much easier, right? So practice makes perfect. So I actually track my habits and it is awesome. It feels gamified. I scheduled on my calendar, so I have it blocked out. And it is great at the end of the day because I've done so many things in Groove and I just feel so confident about it. So if you guys are wondering why I'm so pro Groove, it's because I live in Groove every day. I'm using it and I just love it so much. So finally, I want to get to the last step. And the last step to being a Groove getter and going after your dreams and goals is to ask yourself, who is holding you accountable? Is it yourself? How's that working for you? If it's just you, do you have an accountability partner? Do you have a routine checkpoint with that person or yourself? Like, what is it that you have for accountability? Because it's so important. So I'm going to challenge you to find a Groove Getter's accountability partners, whether it's one person or a pot of people. You can easily go out to the Facebook group and just post, hey, I'm looking for some accountability partners. Anybody interested? I can promise you're going to get a ton of people. I would ask that you try to find someone that's in the same kind of status of life, meaning that you guys are along the same journey. You're both newbies or you're both working corporately, you're not, whatever, find some similar common ground, same time zones, whatever you need to. But I'm telling you, I have witnessed in the Groove community, people who are rising together because they're partnering on learning Groove and accelerating their knowledge of Groove. And so I just love it so much. So here is something you can do is if you're alone, I want you to ask yourself, find Groove Getters accountability partners is going to be the thing that you want to do. But before I kind of go into that, if you are doing accountability alone, number one, what you have to focus on is accepting responsibility for your own actions. No one's going to be holding you accountable. It's just you. Number two, be accountable to your own results, right? So don't be upset by the results you didn't get, by the work you didn't do. Guess what? No one's going to be hounding you on if you got your results done, right? So number three, take ownership of your own mistakes. You're a lone wolf. The only person you're going to be able to blame is yourself when things don't go your way. And that's okay because you're going to fail forward. But sometimes you're going to want someone to blame. You're not going to have anyone, right? So guess what? You don't have to do it alone. That's what I love about the Groove community is that you can have accountability partners. Number one, it accelerates performance and actions. It really does. It just puts that fire under you going, yes, I want to really perform at a high level. I want to be that leader. I want to show them that I can shine because you have someone watching you and you have someone that's making sure that you're accountable. Number two, it helps you measure your success and progress. How cool is it together? You're documenting and you're measuring and you're tracking and you're going at the end of the year, wow, we did all of that. And you have separate goals, but you are keeping each other accountable. And it's just such a cool feeling. And number three, it keeps you engaged and responsible, right? Let's groove responsibly, right? And I just love that because it makes sure that you're engaged in the process, not just for them, for yourself. And it's pretty cool because when you have someone watching you, it just takes you up a little bit of a level there. So Ridgely, as I close this all out, like what are you thinking about accountability partners and how much they have meant to you or what you have witnessed?
I love the word responsibility. And if you noticed, it was take responsibility and be responsible were the bookends of that last slide. Responsibility means the ability to respond, the ability to do something in the face of whatever it is that you're facing. And to me, of course, we want to take responsibility for ourselves. And as I was mentioning earlier, sometimes life is hard. Okay, let's just call it like it is. Sometimes life is hard. Therefore, when you have a partner, an accountability partner, somebody that you can also hold yourself responsible to. They can raise the bar for you. It's like going to the gym. You go to the gym by yourself? Well, sort of, maybe. But if I make a commitment to go to the gym with somebody else, then I got to show up. So I really love that. And I love the statement that you made. You said, don't be upset by the work you did not do. I love that. I'm like, oh, that is a gem. We need to put that on the wall somewhere so that it motivates you to hold yourself responsible and go get that partner as you're talking about. I can't even tell you how many times, whether you're tired or you're feeling a little sick, or maybe you had too much to drink the night before, too much fun, or whatever, that you would absolutely blow off whatever the thing that's on the plate is. Oh, except you have a partner and you made a commitment. And then you show up. And I want to tell you, the world is run by people who show up. And I don't care what condition you are in. I kind of do, but it's better if you show up in great condition, but at least show up no matter what. And an accountability partner helps you do that. I can't say enough about it. I couldn't agree with you more. Find somebody that will help you do that, and life becomes more adventurous and more successful.
Totally agree. I love all of that. And it's so true, guys. I mean, really think about it. Are you being accountable to yourself and you're holding yourself accountable, but if you're honest to yourself, underneath that is that level of, well, if I don't get it done, then no one's going to know. So it doesn't really matter. Right. But like Ridgely said, if you have someone that is holding you accountable and you have to check in with that person, whether it's on a weekly or a daily or a monthly basis, and you have to actually write a report or whatever you guys have agreed upon, and you've made an agreement statement and you've confirmed, you've signed that dotted line and you're like, yes, I'm going to be here on my commitments, delivering to you what I need to, and you don't, guess what? You will, because you're a GrooveGetter and you're going to make sure you do. Or if life gets in the way, they're going to give you some compassion, some grace. They're going to help you in those moments too. And I think that's what's great is that accountability partners aren't just these, tyrants who are going to oversee you. They are your friends. They are people who are doing the same as you. They're entrepreneurs or like-minded people who want what's best for you, just like you want what's best for them. So I just challenge you guys to do that. And I'm going to close out here with some free resources. I decided that if you really want to take action and you guys want to be GrooveGetters, I'm going to put you guys to the test. And so I'm going to give you guys some free resources here. And so I created what I'm calling the GrooveGetters Club, because guess what? I feel like we're all Groovesters. We're all Groove stars in my world. And I want you guys also to have that characteristic of being a GrooveGetter. And I don't want to do it alone. I don't like doing things alone. So I would love to be a GrooveGetter with you. And so here's what I've put together: our digital resources based on all the stuff we talked about today. So number one, a 90-day strategic action plan that's going to help you map out some of your goals for the next 3 months or whenever you get started. And then number two, a dream board worksheet, the GrooveGetters dream board. I want you guys to map those out. It's really it's such a great feeling when you get to see things on paper or on digital paper and write it down and go, wow, like that would be really cool to have that memory or this. My husband and I always joke around about traveling the world, and where would we go if we had limitless money? And I mean, what if we actually got that thing checked off on our bucket list one day? Wouldn't that be cool? Dream big, go after it. And having that mapped out is going to help you get there. Number two is having a GrooveGetters vision board. So I'm going to have that worksheet. You download it, you fill it out digitally, or you can print it out if you'd like. I'll have black and white versions as well. And you can just type it in. What's my mission statement? You can go get ideas. I'm going to have some tips on how to really craft a good mission statement for yourself, right? Just to make sure that you have that. Number two is the vision statement. You want to know where you're going and see the vision. You want to feel the vision, put some story behind it. Like, how are you going to feel when you get there, right? How are you going to feel when those visions are actually realized? And then number three are those values. I believe values, core values, whether you're a person, a business, or a brand, doesn't matter who you are. You have to have the values and then every day live up to those values. What do you want to be known for? Write those down and then make sure that every entire day, you're going after embodying those characteristics and those values. And then next we have the GrooveGetter's mindset worksheet. This has a ton of stuff more than I talked about because there's lots of different areas. One of the things is called micro commitments and micro accomplishments. I want you guys to really make sure that you have big wins and successes, and that's on there too. And those are cool. But the micro accomplishments are just as big to me as the big ones. If you are able to post on the Groove blog one time, right? If you were able to make a comment in the Facebook group, if you were able to launch your first landing page in Groove Pages, if you were to upload a video, I mean, those are all micro accomplishments. Just imagine if you did one a day or a couple a day. Over the next year, you look back, wow. I mean, you should feel really good that you took action, even if it was a few minutes a day. It's just so powerful. Number 2, we have the GrooveGetter's framework worksheet. And that is going to help you really frame out your year. It's going to have the 90-day plan, the year goal, 90-day plan, the 30-day projects, and then the 7-day action plans. It's going to help you write those out and make sure that you're staying on task to make sure that your framework is, going, but your plan is into action. I love that. And then you're going to get the GrooveGetter's habit tracker worksheet. This is really cool looking, and you can just write your habits. The ones that I have are eliminating ones. So I want to eliminate some bad behaviors that I have. And then I have some that I want to be a go-getter, and I'm going to put those here too. And I'm going to track the things that I was able to do or keep eliminating. And it's just really cool because you're going to feel really good when you fill that out over time. And then lastly, we have the monthly GrooveGetters newsletter that I put together once a month, and it's going to go out to you guys, just helping you to make sure that you're staying on track. So that's free for you guys. I'm so excited you can have that. I'm going to see what Ridgely thinks about these downloads and if he thinks people are going to find these useful.
So I have 2 things I want to say. One is that I really want to highlight what you said, Angie, about celebrating micro accomplishments. It is just so incredibly powerful. If you just literally keep track of the little things that you accomplish, you become the person whose habit is accomplishing all the time. I'm one of those guys, and I don't hardly ever have bad days or bad weeks. I have setbacks, I have challenges, I have issues like everybody, but I just get after them. And when you make those micro accomplishments, you get used to it. You get used to, when I come down and I open my inbox in the morning and I take a look, I'm expecting good things to be there. I'm expecting there to be something that I can celebrate. So I say, start wherever you are with those micro accomplishments. I absolutely love those. Another thing I want to say is this. Angie's super organized and she's really good at all this. And it did not happen the day before yesterday. Okay. So if what you just saw was like, wow, that's amazing, and your second thought was, oh my God, do I have to do all of that? I'm going to tell you, you can do whatever you can do. Do some of it, because right now you're doing none of it. And it's an opportunity to do some of it right now. And if you start doing some of it, what are you going to have? A micro accomplishment that then you can build and do more. And then you have more micro accomplishments. And then, as you said, Angie, and it's so true. And I wish there was some way that I could just go whoosh, and everybody would just get it. When you look back on a whole bunch of micro accomplishments, you're standing on a big accomplishment, because they don't happen in a vacuum. They lead up to things. And then you find yourself in a different place, in a different space, planning that trip around the world with your husband, like you were just mentioning, et cetera, or planning your next trip somewhere super fun, like I kind of do every month. Sorry.
Hey, I love that. But I also want to say, like, if you're watching this and you're still on watching this exact training, it probably means that you watched the last week's training and the one before that. So just already in 2022, you've watched 3 at a minimum plus hours of training. That's a micro commitment, or a micro accomplishment, I should say, that you can start listing out. You poured into yourself. You invested time into yourself, to learning, into growing, into self-improvement and self-development and growth, because that's what we're here for, Groove Growth. And that's huge because a lot of people don't take that time. And so I'm proud of you. If you're still watching this, great job for being here and showing up. And just as Ridgely said, showing up is the biggest thing. And I'm just so excited. So that's what I have for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And I do have a couple more slides because I was talking to Ridgely and I was talking about how I visualize things. And I have actually this calendar, and this calendar that I have, it actually has a lot of the stuff we talked about on the calendar. I like to actually write things out and see things. And I was talking about it and painting the picture of what I do. And I have it over my wall here. And he was like, wow, like, I think that is amazing. Maybe other people would want that. So what I did was, and I hope you guys don't mind, is I decided to offer it for you guys. I packaged it up together and I have what I'm calling the GrooveGetter's calendar. And this is 12 months. And this 12-month thing, you can start on any month. It doesn't have to be January. You can start on February, June, December, up to you. But annually, it really focuses and helps you track for a whole year. It talks about your dreams and goals, your numbers, because I feel like you should know your numbers. Where do you want to be? Do you want to be hitting 10K months, 20K months? How are you going to get there over the next year? How are you going to build to that in a consistent way, right? Or are you going to have quick wins, action plans? I have my mission, vision, values that we talked about, my mindset framework and club that I want to make sure that I'm doing on an annual basis. I have monthly things where I reflect. I look back on the last month and I write down lessons learned, things I don't want to do anymore that we say no, that we say yes to, right? I call that the pleaser versus passion grid. And I want to write down, oh, I loved creating this and doing this and pouring into people and speaking. Oh, I didn't like this grunt work of trying to go through my emails and, you know what I mean? Like things like that. I actually put that on a list and I think about how I can get those off my plate forever, right? And then the need to outsource scale comes into play and you kind of raise those things. Okay, I need to get rid of this, and this. Okay, who can I find on Fiverr, on Upwork, in the community? And then I have my self-care spectrum, because as Ridgely is like the pillar of self-care, he will tell you probably firsthand better than me that self-care is so important. If we're not taking care of ourselves, how can we help others and take care of others? We got to live as long as we can. And I want to make sure that we're all focusing on that. So I have that on there. Themes for the year, your focus. And I have the big picture tracker that I talk about all the time, because you have to have your dreams and your big picture in play at all times in the back of your head when you're doing any actions at all. The habit tracker actions. And then the three big things, I focus on three big things daily that I want to accomplish. And I tackle those things first. And so I have that calendar for those who would be interested. And I put this together both in a digital and a physical format. And I'll talk about that in a minute and how you can get it. This third thing that I have is the GrooveGetter's Mastermind. Now, for those who really need accountability, and I'm going to raise my hand, I need accountability. And that's why I put this thing together. And I thought, why not do it together, right? Why can't we do Groove Life together in an accountability fashion? Because I know if I need it, there's probably 100 people that need it. And if we met once a month, had a stand up and we filled out our workbooks and made sure that we were on track, we would reflect over the last 30 days, plan for the next 30 days, have some breakout sessions and pods to make sure we're going deep on whatever we need to. And we have weekly touch points where we're filling things out, having checkpoints and making sure that we're reporting out what we're doing and what we're accomplishing and what our goals are and things like that. Then we have some daily check-ins for those who want to post on a daily basis to make sure that you're keeping on task. Because for me, if I'm doing it daily, then I'm keeping on track. And if I have an audience of people that are watching that, I'm going to make sure I do it every single day, because I want to be a pillar of leading by example, right? And so if you're someone who needs accountability and would love to be a part of a group together, this is what I have for you. It's a monthly thing, weekly thing, and a daily thing that we do. And it's all goals, big dreams, planning and making sure that we're moving the ball down the field. So I have those three things. I have the free digital resources for everyone that's watching. I have the calendar, and then I have the mastermind. And so I'm going to talk about how you can get those here. GrooveGetters.club. So GrooveGetters.club is the link. You can get that instant download of all those digital resources that I talked about earlier in the free. And then if you want that calendar, I have a digital format for 27 that includes a masterclass. And then I have the physical one. Now the physical one will be shipped to you. You can actually personalize it with your name, or maybe you want to gift it and put someone else's name on there. That is really cool. You get to pick the month that you start. So if you are watching this in January and you want to start in February, then it starts in February. If you want to order it and it starts in June, that's fine too. We have that available to be accommodating because we know that people start where they are. And then finally, that comes with the masterclass 1 and 2. And then I have a bundle because I love stuff. So I thought, why not put this fun little bundle together? And I love Ridgely's laugh. It's so fun. And then, so the bundle is going to have a lot of stuff. I know it's hard to see, but you can go to the page, groovegetters.club, to see all the stuff in more detail. But basically what it is you get everything in the free and the digital and physical calendar, but you also have some other fun stuff. We have a personalized tumbler with the GrooveGetter logo on it. It's an insulated 20 ounce, which I love. It's a big one. And then we also have a manifesto. So the 10 things I talked about in the beginning of who is a GrooveGetter, I put that into a really cool thing you can actually put on your wall or stand up, so you can actually constantly be thinking, how am I a GrooveGetter today and every day? And then we have the 365 accomplishments checklist. This is something I put together for myself, but I'm sure all of you Groove people would love this. It's like almost like a 8x10 poster, and it has all these ideas for accomplishments for Groove. So it's, tell a friend about Groove. It's go into Groove pages and publish a new domain. There's always different things. There are lots of different categories and lots of different topics: affiliate-based, software-based, personal development-based, and authority-based. And it's just really cool because I use that every day to, what am I going to do today? And I just start checking those things off. And it's pretty cool at the end of the year. I did this last year. At the end of the year, I'm like, wow. That's really neat that I did all that stuff. And it's no wonder that I'm so entrenched in Groove, right? And then I also have some sweet treats in there. I have a surprise gift, some other bonuses. And so that's a box that will come right to your door. And then finally, I have the mastermind, and that's going to be a $97 a month mastermind. It includes everything that you had in there before, including the box. And then we meet once a month as a group. We talk weekly in an environment where we have to checkpoint things. And then we also have a daily checkpoint on posting. And I'm telling you, if you want to really see this year go to the end, that's what's for you. It's not for everyone, but if you're a GrooveGetter who wants the love of having friends at work, is what I call it, then this is for you. So whoever you are, it doesn't matter. You can have the free resources, and that's really going to get you going. And then for those who do want to level up, there's other 3. I'm super excited about all of it. I can't wait to do life with many, many of you beyond who I've already met so far. But Ridgely, so I'm going to toss it back to you. And I just want to say thank you so much for having me. It's been amazing.
Well, Angie, I want to say thank you to you. First of all, it's incredibly generous of you to say, hey, here are some free resources that are really, really going to help people. And here are some additional things that if you want to take it to the next level, you can. I just want to anchor something for people. So I'm in masterminds, several high-level masterminds. They cost $2,500 a month, payable up front. I'm in another one that costs $5,000 a month, payable up front. Well, actually, they gave me a payment plan on that one. I could pay it over 5 months. But no kidding. Like, this is no joke. I am in masterminds collectively that are $7,500 a month. Why? Because I'm very, very serious about getting to the next level, staying at the next level, and being able to help as many people as I possibly can. Here's Angie Norris, that we all know is a mega groove star. And she's saying to you, I just think it's kind of almost ridiculous that for $97 a month, you can participate in her mastermind and have Angie be your coach. So if you're really looking to get up there and get it to the next level, it's like the no-brainer of the millennium. In fact, I almost think it's way too inexpensive. I don't know why you're doing it for $97 a month, but I'd be the person who is jumping all over that in a microsecond at groovegetters.club. And by the way, nobody paid me to do this. Angie didn't ask me to do this. I'm doing this myself because I just was exposed to this. Like, really, man? And I started thinking, as you were going through that slide, I was just thinking, how much money am I spending? Well, the values of the mastermind, it's $7,500 a month. And by the way, that's without the hotels, without the flights, without the travel, and without all the drinks that I buy everybody when I'm there, because I want to make great relationships. So just saying, if you really do want to take your game to the next level, no matter where you are, no matter how much money you have, go to groovegetters.club and get something. Man, I'd really be thinking about that mastermind with Angie Norris. Imagine where you'll be at the end of a year of having Angie Norris as your coach. And by the way, here's a little secret I just want to share. Angie will be looking for success stories from that mastermind. That person could be you. So hop on over to groovegetters.club and sign up for something, no matter what you do. Okay, wrapping up today, I just want to again say, Angie, it is just such a joy, such an honor to be with you. Thank you so much for what you do for the Groovester community. I really, really appreciate. Just a couple of last words from you.
I just want to say that I am honored to be a part of the Groove community. I believe it's way more than a software. It is way more than a community. It is something that is unexplainable. And I am just so blessed to have what we have together. And I can't wait to see where it goes, because if you're watching this, doesn't matter what year you're watching this, I'm telling you, you're early to the Groove game. What is coming is epic. What is so magical about Groove is that they care so much about every single user. They listen to the feedback. They improve upon every single day because they want to make sure they are delivering the best that they can, because they know that if we're thriving with Groove, they're thriving with Groove, and we're doing it together. So I just want to say thank you so much, Ridgely. And it brought up a point here. I was talking about Groove is more than a family and more than a community, but I feel like you have something, Ridgely, that you keep saying. Groove is more than. Do you remember what I was talking about?
Groove is a success factory, a success formula, a success creator. Groove is more than a software. It's a success machine. That's what it is. It enables you to make your dreams come true. So get serious, hop on over to groovegetters.club, get something to improve your life now. And let's all together go out there and find your groove. All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time on Groove Growth. I'm Ridgely Goldsborough, the Groove Growth guy. I'll see you shortly. Bye for now. Ciao.